Yo, 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 welcome back to another edition of Michael's Mind Philly Sports Pod. And today we talking about the NBA draft post round one. We talking about VJ Edgecomb, nah. All right, we're going to get right into it. You're going to see my thoughts and opinions on that. And yeah, let's get it. Yo, 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 guys, and we back in it after day one of the draft. We got lots of things to cover, as you see in the title of the video. So we're going to talk about VJ Edgecomb. We're going to talk about, who we could grab in the second round and how we're going to be going about doing that. First things first, though, VJ Edgecomb, and you're going to see my draft reaction on the screen. I'm going to clip it up, though, because I was a little upset about it initially. After a good, hold on, I'll let us, give us some time to see that. Here's Silver, Philadelphia 76ers, select. Come on. With the third pick in the draft, it's VJ Edgecomb. Oh, man. Oh, man, I sat here on camera for 4 minutes for this. Golly, man. As you can tell, I'm not the happiest individual right now. VJ Edgecomb is the guy you grab and you don't trade back. Dude, this man was choking on cookie crumbles before he could make any phone calls. And he goes, like I said, and as you saw, a little bit upset about it initially. After some good discourse with my buddies and a lot more deep diving into his character and into his skills on the basketball court, which is arguably just as important as his character, which a lot of people still don't seem to, right now because of all this stuff with Ace Bailey and how he's definitely not the best kind of character guy, not the best locker room guy. It's such a big talk, but I feel like a lot of people are skipping over what he does bring to the table on the court. And initially I was a little upset about it, but I'm really, I'm moving in the right direction in terms of appreciating the kid and appreciating the pick that we got. It's just, pick number 3 for maybe the third or fourth guard on our roster is a little wild, and we'll get into that, the logistics of it, because I want to say that I have a whole thing, a lot more positives than I do negatives. The positives, though, are more about his skills. So real quick, I want to get into the logistics. When it comes time to pay Maxey on an extension and McCain on an extension and VJ Edgecomb on an extension, and if we do end up paying Quentin Grimes this year, it just seems like you're paying a lot of guards, so like I said, so right now, and if you've seen my other videos, we're paying 3 guys 90% of our cap right now. And those 3 guys all play different positions, and it's still a problem. So now when you go ahead and go pay 3 guys max deals, because that's what they're going to be getting paid, all 3 of these guards, Maxey, McCain, and Edgecomb, were all picked in the first round. So now they're eligible for super maxes, and like I said, we already have the issue of paying 3 guys who don't play the same position 90% of our cap. Now you're going to be paying 3 guys who do play the same position 90% of your cap. Once you get off the books with Embiid and Paul George, you're going to have to be paying 3 guards, a lot of money. So it could work out. A lot of people probably down in the comments, of some of my buddies too, have been talking to me about how many guards the Pacers had on their roster and everything. And my argument to that was, yeah, they did have centers too on their roster, but none of them were that great. None of them like got the job done. Essentially, is what I'm trying to say. Um, and when you're foregoing all this size to pay three guards down the line, that stuff's going to add up when you can't go ahead and get the best wing or the best number four or the best center in free agency, because now, all your money's tied up to three guards. There, if you guys don't see the issue with that, hit me down in the comments. Let me know what you think about it. I don't see the logistical side of it in terms of using a number 3 pick on a guy who is, the sort of already, there's already a full room of guards on our team. And on top of that, we'll leave that. We'll let it stew in your minds. Like I said, hit the comments on how you think about that. Now moving into the positives. The kid has got such a high motor. He's a great, great kid. He's excited. Number one, wants to be here with the Sixers, unlike somebody who we could have drafted. And by the way, by no means did I want to draft Ace. What I really wanted to do was trade back. But, like I said, we're going to be able to sell ourselves on this kid. I watched a lot of his Bahamas tape on when he was in the Olympics. And, I mean, his percentages shot up. He looked really good. So, that's exciting in terms of NBA space. And realistically, you can build a roster with 3-4 guards, 2 of which being a two-way defending guys like Grimes and VJ. The problem is the money. That's my only problem. But moving away from that, he can jump out the gym, and I am telling you, it's going to happen in Summer League too. He is going to put a body on somebody. It's going to be sick. It's going to be all over social media, and a lot of you guys who are out on him, are going to be like, wow, like this guy is sick. I can't wait to see him play in the NBA. And like I'm saying, I'm sure we will love this guy. I already do. I'm already kind of on the way, paving the path to really like him. I do like the rotation of Maxey, McCain, VJ, and Grimes, because now you're talking about, they're going to be splashing threes, Maxey, McCain splashing threes on their head, and then, you switch out, and now you got this defensive monstrosity coming through on the perimeter with VJ and Grimes. And here's another thing, too, that I have down here. If we do not end up retaining Quentin Grimes, I mean, this pick is going to end up looking just that much better. You're going to be like, wow, okay, makes a lot more sense. And that rotation is just going to be filthy. One thing I'm not too, we just gotta figure out the minutes. When I see it happen, and I'm sure Nick Nurse, I know he catches a lot of flack, but I'm sure he will figure out the minutes, and things will be looking all right and crispy come NBA time. Another thing I'm really, pushing hard on is like Embiid. After this surgery, I do not believe a word that comes out of Morey's mouth, number one, because he's a liar. We all know that. Number two, I do not believe whatsoever that Embiid is on the path to be healthy by the time training camp starts. I mean, that's just asinine. There's no possible way somebody who has had 2 surgeries in 1 calendar year, one of which just recently happened. There's no way that once I hear from Embiid that he's feeling good and will be back by training camp, that's when I'll even slightly start to believe it. I just don't see him coming back in time and playing more than 40 or 30 games this season. And that's without, if he does even play 30 games this season coming up, they're all going to be on minute restrictions. And I mean, if we go back, I've never seen somebody ramp up 4 times in one season and then not finish the season. I've never seen that happen before. I mean, Embiid was begging on live television to get a surgery and to be shut down. And we just kept pushing him out there. So, like, that's the kind of organization that we're dealing with here with the Sixers. They don't listen to their players when they need to be shut down. And guess what? I would believe if Embiid could make it back this season if they shut him down way earlier and let him get the surgery way earlier. The problem is, like, and I want to preface this with, like, Embiid will always be a bucket. He will always be dominant in that regard. And what I mean by, like, I don't think he can play the sport of basketball. It's purely on the surgery side and on the health side. Like, his knee is probably going to keep re-aggravating if you keep pushing him back too early. And then we're talking about never having Embiid back. Like, I compare it to Lonzo Ball because they have the same exact injury. Lonzo Ball was like, what, how many years younger than him? It don't even matter. All we know is Lonzo Ball is half the size of Embiid, and this guy cannot stay healthy on a basketball court. It took him like 3 seasons to even get back on the court, and every time he touches the court, it seems like he's back out for another season. So, in my mind, I don't see Embiid returning to this monstrosity level next season. And even if he does play 30 games and gives you something, like the way the East is, we could make a push. But the thing is, man, like, I just, like, if you really want to keep Embiid around for the rest of his career, you can't play him next season. He's got to sit out all next season and keep rehabbing because, I mean, guys, like, even without this injury beforehand, the guy never could finish a season. So that's all I'm saying about that. We already are taking up too much time here. Actually, the last thing I will say, not about Embiid, but about VJ is I'm starting to really like the pick. I think the kid is a great kid. He's humble. He's going to be able to yam on people's heads. And I think a lot of the concerns a lot of people have are a little ridiculous. Like, you know, his shooting percentages, his shooting splits are good. 47% off the catch and shoot. Or no, not off the catch and shoot, off the pick and roll. Like, listen, he can shoot the ball. He could definitely shoot the ball. Remember when Maxey came in with, what was it, 27% from 3 he came in? And look at him now. He's prolific. I think VJ will be great. And like, there was a bit of an overreaction on my end. It's just all about the logistics of how it's going to work out in terms of paying guys and retaining guys. It's going to be hard. It's going to be difficult, but that's not our job to figure out. Fortunately enough, it is Daryl Morey's, and if he felt like he could draft him and make it work, then we're going to have to see. We're going to have to see.